What's going on, folks? Sorry, sometimes Google makes me restart. Let's get it on Facebook as well. Now we got the double stream going. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? I appreciate you guys for joining me. Thank you so much. I was up late last night and also early this morning, and I finally have some exciting news. I have a new website that is launched right now. I want you guys to check it out either before, well, not before, technically, you'd have to go back in time, but either during or after. Exposelockdowns.com. That's the website. Exposelockdowns.com, one word. And on the website, you'll find just one click, and it's a packet. I have a packet right here. You'll see this. It's probably backwards, but it's about 10 pages. I don't want to go through the whole thing right now. It's 10 pages. It's got data, from worldometers.info. It's got articles from Washington Post, Guardian, nothing crazy, nothing conspiratorial, nothing that's going to scare any of the normies. Pretty basic stuff. And on exposelockdowns.com, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go there and I'm going to print these out. And then I'm going to go around to restaurants and small businesses in my community and hand these out because I want to let people know what's going on. That's what the website's about. Exposelockdowns.com. It's a way to read a packet and also download it and hand it out. Hopefully we can get millions of these passed out in the United States because I want to show people both sides of the coin. And if you don't mind, I'm going to get into it in a second. I'm exhausted because I've been up all night. I'm going to listen to my song, play my coffee, drink my song. No, I'm just kidding. That's what happens when you do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. I'm not saying I did drugs. I'm just saying I'm tired. I'm like, they say like, drink the song, eat the coffee. No, but I'm going to play the song, drink the coffee, and then let's begin. Whew. Gotta wake up. I've been up since like 5 a.m. I don't want to build. This is not a drill. I don't want to chip. I don't want to chill. I be independent. I like my amendments. I don't want to bend it. I don't want to sell it. I am on a vengeance. I will never get it. I am not the vengeance. I'm the first detective. Yeah. We let the enemy get too friendly. Now we quarantine like Julian inside the embassy. All right. Let's start it up. So the story of the day, folks, is exposelockdowns.com. You can go there, print out a packet, and hand it out to small businesses. That's what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done with this video because I just want to say a few things real quick. First of all, it's a disclaimer. You'll see it on the website too. I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice. It's literally not. This is me showing you articles from World Health Organization talking in different articles about all the bad elements of the lockdown. And that's why it's exposelockdowns.com, because if you listen to the media, if you listen to politicians, if you listen to, even Republicans sometimes, but mostly Democrats, you would think that it's like lockdowns are good, mask mandates are good, and anybody who disagrees, this is the narrative they're trying to push. Anybody who says otherwise is a horrible person who's killing grandma and grandpa, and you can't think otherwise. It's like you got to just keep shutting your business down, watching thousands of small businesses go out of business. That's the new normal. That's what they want to tell you, and they're trying to shame you and say you're a horrible person if you have common sense and realize that this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel healthy. It doesn't feel safe. That's why on exposelockdowns.com, you'll see this packet. It's actually not safe. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not a medical doctor. If you feel sick, there are viruses, there are coronaviruses, there's flu, there's pneumonia. This is not medical advice. I never claimed that it was. It's like, if you don't feel well, go to a doctor, obviously. But what I am doing is, and what I'm allowed to do is, they try to shame me and say, well, An0maly, if you suggest lockdowns are bad, you're responsible. What about this? This is in my article, right on the first page. I say, and you can read it, exposelockdowns.com. I said, people are dying from lockdowns. This isn't safe or nice. This is Washington Post. The pandemic pushes hundreds of millions of people towards starvation and poverty. So if they say to us, oh, you don't want a lockdown? What do you want to kill your grandma? It's like, are you trying to kill hundreds of millions of people with starvation? Because this is mainstream news and left-wing outlets that this is a possibility of what's going to happen. What about the Guardian? Very left-wing mainstream news outlet. It says, COVID set to cause 400,000 surge in tuberculosis deaths as medics are diverted. Millions of misdiagnosis will add to the global pandemic toll, warns the World Health Organization study. So they're already warning the pandemic toll is now not just going to include COVID-19 deaths. It's going to include the millions of people who die because of what they did. These are the games that they play. They're like, if you have COVID, you die, you fall off a ladder, you died of COVID. You die in a motorcycle accident, you died of COVID. You don't have COVID, you cough, you have COVID. You have COVID, you died of COVID. These are the games they're playing. But now they're saying, let's call it the pandemic toll. What is the pandemic toll? It's not just people dying with or from COVID. It's now people dying because of what they told you to do. So millions of people are going to die from tuberculosis in other countries not because of COVID-19, but because of the response to COVID-19. So I'm just, throughout this whole thing, I have the data, I have all the information, exposedlockdowns.com. I'm simply getting this out to the masses so you can print it out and hopefully tens of thousands of people, because I'm going directly to my small businesses, people in my neighborhood, because I'm out here and I see them closing down restaurants indoors because of Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom happens to be on page 9 of my packet. He doesn't listen to his own lockdown orders. So he's out hobnobbing with medical professionals, and he doesn't seem, the medical association or whatever they're called, he doesn't seem to care that he's breaking his lockdown. But when's the last time he had a conference and really spoke to small business owners and said, here's what you could do, or here's what we're going to do for you? It's just like, you know what, I'm going to hobnob with lobbyists, and your business can die. I don't care. I mean, this is not science. This is not data. And this is what I know needs to go. I'm not the be all end all. I'm not claiming to be a medical professional, but what I am is somebody with eyes, somebody with common sense, somebody with ears, and I can see what they're doing. And what they're doing is trying to say this is good and this is bad. But when in reality, let's go again. And this is all printable, exposedlockdowns.com. You can print this out and see this for yourself. It's going to be backwards, but you see all the arrows and you see all the numbers. I'll just tell you what this is right here. This is this morning, I think 1 or 2 a.m. when I was really making this. This is the top 22 countries in deaths per capita. So deaths per capita, if you guys don't know, is death scaled to population size. It's not fair if you're Belgium and you're competing with Brazil, so they do deaths per capita to make it relevant. You get what I'm saying? There's bigger countries with more people, smaller countries with less people. This is how you compare them per population size. It's important. All these arrows that you see, all these red arrows, lockdown, 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 lockdown. All of these countries were locked down. There is no data, folks. And you got to share this with small businesses in your community, because they think we're going to lock down. We don't want to get in trouble. We're going to lock down and save lives. You're not saving lives. You're killing business. You're killing the economy. When it comes to diseases and people missing cancer screenings and obesity and child abuse and suicides and all these things that are statistically on the rise in many communities, it's not even my opinion. It's just like basic knowledge. Just search suicide, rise, pandemic. Child abuse, rise, pandemic. I'm searching, they're saying the domestic homicide, not the domestic abuse, the domestic homicide numbers in certain areas are double what they were in 2019, and the year's not even over. So all these bad categories are raising. Obesity, people having worse habits, they're closing down gyms, and they can't even say that the one thing that they claim that they're doing, they act like I'm the bad guy or you're the bad guy for noticing this. But their claim, what they told us earlier this year, the models that Fauci showed us, even President Trump played along and lied, and I got ticked off, and everyone said, "An0maly, trust the plan." And I said, no, listen, he said millions of people would have died. I don't agree with him. I don't have to. But the point I'm getting to is whether it's left-wing politicians, right-wing politicians, health experts, mainstream media, the one thing that they tried to tell you was if we didn't lock down, if we didn't do all this crazy stuff, we would have had a death toll that was 10 times as many people, 20 times as many people, 30 times as many people, 50 times as many people. Some of these charts were claiming 100 times as many people would have died. There is no data. I'm going to repeat this, and that's why it's on exposedlockdowns.com. There's no data anywhere in the world when it comes to deaths per capita that not locking down is going to cause astronomical deaths. Do you know how I know? Because these are all the countries in the world scaled by deaths per capita. And I'm going to read the top 6. Ready? We're just going to go through the top 6. Belgium, number 1. They had a massive lockdown, and I believe they're doing more restrictions now. They're not working. San Marino, small population, locked down, but doesn't really count. Peru, 3rd worst in deaths per capita, world's strictest lockdown. The world's strictest lockdown led to one of the world's worst results. 4th, Andorra, both had lockdowns. Spain had lockdowns. Argentina, number 6, they keep climbing the charts because more people are dying in deaths per capita. World's longest lockdown, folks. What do you notice about numbers 1 through 6? Belgium, San Marino, Peru, Andorra, Spain, Argentina. There's not a single non-locked down country on the list. So this logic they were going by in March and April, they said, well, if we don't lock down, there's going to be all these excess deaths. If that's the case, wouldn't there be one country in the top 6 that would have said, no, we don't want to lock down? What about all those countries that didn't listen? What about the ones in Europe that didn't listen, in Africa that didn't? They're not on the list. How come? Because not as many people are dying. Yes, they're not getting as many tests. Yes, it's harder to calculate, but that's also part of the scheme. But the point I'm getting to is, this is what this is, exposedlockdowns.com. I'm just trying to get this out to people and let people know they're going to whittle your business down until you have nothing. And these politicians don't give a crap because they're not paying it. They don't listen to the same rules. If they couldn't go to Thanksgiving dinner, they might care. But they're out hobnobbing with medical association professionals and lobbyists at dinners that they tell you that you can't have, as they're destroying thousands of businesses. Let's go to, what is this, page number 7 or page number 8? I show people right here. Hold on one sec. I'm not really a packet guy. I'm just doing this because I feel like we need something physical, not just digital. Hold on. Sorry, folks. They're sticky. The pages are sticky. Let's see. It says Fortune said nearly 100,000 establishments that temporarily shut down due to the pandemic are now out of businesses. So nearly 100,000 establishments that you love, places in your community, many of which have been open for 50, 100 years, are permanently shut down, says Fortune. As CNBC says, wow, the American billionaires got $434 billion richer during the pandemic. Isn't that interesting? As you're losing everything, they're out having dinners with lobbyists and medical professionals, and their businesses are booming. You could even say that their businesses are going to steal your business. So the same guy who owns Washington Post owns Amazon, and Washington Post doesn't want you to not agree with the lockdown, but their owner owns a company that's profiting off of the lockdown. So as your business dies, his business grows. As your business fails, people have to go to his business. I can't even go shopping anymore. It's not pleasurable. So I order on Amazon. Do I want to? No, but I also don't want to be treated like a slave and have to wear a mask and get yelled at all the time. I got obese people that weigh 400 pounds yelling at me like I'm affected. Meanwhile, I haven't been sick in years. I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, I'm like standing outdoors 50 feet away from somebody. And he's like, excuse me, sir, can you put a mask on? It's like, dude, can you shut up for 2 seconds? I'm not even near anybody. I'm not even in the building. I'm standing outside, and you got an obese person telling me to put on a mask. It's like, bro, do some push-ups. You're at risk with like 50 diseases right now. I'm sitting here 31. I look great. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. And then it's like, he's acting like I'm killing everybody. It's like, what sort of planet do we live on? Where is the data, folks? Sweden, now they're claiming they're going to start locking down, which is ridiculous. I'll use the other R word so I don't get in trouble. But Sweden's number 22 on the list as of today, as of printing this. No mask mandate, no lockdown. They're doing better than like 20 lockdown countries. Where's the data that says if you don't lock down, you're going to be at the top of the list? It doesn't exist, folks. This whole thing is a lie. But when you realize who these people are, and I haven't even got into this on exposedlockdowns.com, I'm going to put this, and I'm going to have more info for the packet. I'm not trying to bore people to death, and I understand look, big font. I don't like little font, big boy font, infographics, pictures, things that are easy. People aren't going to sit here and read this like you can read this whole thing in a minute or 2 minutes. I made sure it's big font, small amount of words, picture graphics, get to the point. It's killing people. It's killing businesses, but their narrative is it's just killing businesses. Oh, you just care about your own money. No, it's actually killing people too. There's going to be millions of people who die from other diseases because they missed their screenings and they missed they don't have the resources now because you're running everybody in circles with this stuff. And in many cases, unjustified. So that's what this is, folks. Exposedlockdowns.com. I'm going to get out on the streets and start passing these out to small businesses because I want them to know, they're just going to whittle your business down until they kill it. And it's not a coincidence. Once again, on exposedlockdowns.com, I don't have it there yet, but eventually I'm going to show people my video. And it's like these people, they're telling you, we're locking you down because we really care about your health and we really want to save lives. And we think that like if we don't lock down, millions of people are going to die. That's what people think. That's why they're locking down. They're like, oh, I don't want to die. I don't want my family to die. So I'll lock down. Meanwhile, these same people believe that billions of people need to be off the planet. People like Ted Turner, he thinks there's too many people. He thinks we need to get rid of people. He gave $1 billion to the UN, who is also the World Health Organization, who's funding and orchestrating a lot of this stuff. They actually believe there needs to be less people on the planet. So if you want to save lives, meanwhile, you're shutting everything down. And then they start saying, you see Lori Lightfoot, she's like, blah, 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 New World Order. You're like, what did she just say to like pledge allegiance to the New World Order? You're like, Am I on like Infowars.com or no, this is Lori Lightfoot. This is mainstream news. This is like, you can see it on Twitter. This is out of her own mouth. Wait, the Great Reset? I thought that was just a conspiracy theory. Why is he talking about the Great Reset? Because this is what they want to do, folks. I don't know where it is. Anyway, but the COVID-19, The Great Reset is a book by Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum. They're bragging about what they want to do. They believe there needs to be less people on the planet. They believe that there needs to be a complete shutdown and a fourth industrial revolution where you own nothing. So this isn't about saving your life. This is about destroying your business so they own it. That's why if you go to page number 6 or 7, you can see Jeff Bezos' wealth is growing as yours is collapsing. Jeff Bezos' business is growing as yours is dying. It's not, oh, we're going to save grandma. They don't give a crap about your grandma. They don't give a crap about the rules. They don't give a crap about your family. They don't give a crap about your health. You think anybody serious that cares about your health would shut a gym down? Oh, I want you to be healthy, so I'm going to shut your gym down. What about the excess millions of people who are going to get fatter and more depressed? Does that factor into your scheme? They're not doing real math, folks. Of course, there's real bad consequences to lockdowns. ExposeLockdowns.com. Get a packet, pass it out, show people this is not the nice thing to do. Oh, I'm just going to destroy my business until I don't have it. That's not nice. That's not safe. That's not healthy. This is a scheme to destroy everything so they could take it. Mainstream news has already admitted, page 2. Or page 3, mainstream news has already admitted that lockdowns in many areas increased. Suicides are increasing. Obesity is increasing. Depression is increasing. Domestic abuse is increasing. Domestic homicides is increasing. Child abuse is increasing. Missed cancer screenings is increasing. Hundreds of thousands of tuberculosis excess deaths that wouldn't have happened without all this craziness. Right? So this is the point I'm getting to. Listen, we could argue all day. I could talk about what I know. You could talk about what you know. But we're not accepting this narrative, folks. We're not accepting this narrative that says, oh, I'm a bad person. I have to feel bad for opposing lockdowns. Oh, I'm such a bad person. No, they're killing people. Domestic abuse is on the rise. Child abuse is on the rise. Suicides are on the rise. Depression is on the rise. Obesity is on the rise. Excess deaths of tuberculosis are outpacing coronavirus deaths in many areas. And to top that all off, Washington Post is telling you hundreds of millions of people might starve to death because of what's going on. When you knock down supply chains, when you screw up society, when you wipe out restaurants, this is their plan. The Great Reset, they call it. The Great Reset. These are global communists who believe that you should own nothing. They're idiots, or they're just complete demons who think that, their San Francisco scheme works so well. We have the cleanest city in the world. Oh, well, now we live like kings and everybody else has to live in crap, poop, pee, tents, trash, heroin needles. The price is outrageous, but it's okay though. Let's take this scheme to the whole world. Let's scheme everybody with our tech friends. Well, Facebook's involved, Twitter's involved. Oh, what do you know? Google won't allow you to do this. Facebook, I'm putting my whole career and job at risk now, even though they've already taken half of it, because just saying this stuff, they're going to want to shut me down. Why? Because this isn't real. No, this is real data. This is real science. This is real common sense. This is a real controversial discussion to have that's not one-sided. But Google, Facebook, and Twitter all want the Great Reset. Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, wants the Great Reset because he'll benefit when your small business, your physical business dies. MSNBC, even Fox News is turning on people. I thought Fox, none of these people give a crap about you. All the media is in on it. All the tech companies are in on it. A lot of these health bureaucrats are in on it. Oh, I'm the expert. It's like, yeah, you've been in government for 40 years. You're not Orville Wright, or, you're not Wilbur and Orville Wright, the Wright brothers or whatever. You didn't invent a plane. You're not Luc Montagnier. You didn't discover HIV. You're not Watson and Crick. You didn't discover the double helix. I mean, you sat in government for 40 years and lied to people about AIDS and coronavirus. That doesn't make you like, you're this like wizard of science that can't be questioned. Well, he's been there since the Reagan era lying to people. Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, Dianne Feinstein's been in God knows how long. She looks like a frog that's like 300 years old. It's like, does that mean Dianne Feinstein? Oh, I'm sorry, Dianne Feinstein. You control politics. How dare me question Nancy Pelosi because she's been there a long time. Length doesn't really mean anything if you're just a government bureaucrat. But the point I'm getting to is this is not a narrative we're accepting. This is not, oh, one side is great and one side is horrible and we're so bad because we don't want a lockdown. ExposeLockdowns.com is exposing with mainstream news articles, with data and science, about how lockdowns are not this one-sided affair that saves society. Lockdowns are not this beautiful thing that's just helping everybody so much. They're killing people factually. You could see it at exposedlockdowns.com. This is not even my opinion. Even mainstream articles are admitting that people are dying because of lockdowns. They're killing businesses. Obviously, they're killing economy. Obviously, and they're killing mental health. Obviously, they're killing physical health. Obviously, I would argue that it's worse than it is better, obviously. But they're trying to say it's one-sided. It's not, folks. So that's what we're doing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm not going to be another one of these. You know what? I'm just going to call them out because I don't even care anymore. These TPUSAs. Oh, Charlie Kirk. Oh, what's going on? If lockdowns work? Question mark. Let's do a live stream for Israel. It's like, what about rallying the millions of people you have behind President Trump? You're doing barely anything to stop the steal. And then you're like, oh, I can't believe lockdown. No, they don't work, bro. They're trying to kill people, kill the businesses. So what are you going to do about it? Jim Jordan. Oh, my goodness. What's going on? What's next? I don't know, Jim Jordan. What's next? Well, since you take money from Google, lobbyist money, and you did nothing for 3 years as they wiped out all of President Trump's biggest supporters, I don't know, Jim Jordan, maybe the gulags are next, bro. I'm tired of these phony conservatives acting like they're so surprised and then doing nothing. They let all of the people who helped President Trump get elected in 2016, all of the original conservatives and Republicans who were more conservative than I was in 2016, who got Trump elected, they all got wiped off the internet in 2018, and these idiots did nothing. In fact, people like Charlie Kirk engaged in cancel culture. He started blacklisting people, calling them anti-Semitic and racist and homophobic and trying to get them banned and censored. He did nothing to stand up for the First Amendment. Dan Crenshaw wants to fight a war more than he wants to do anything. So these people are not going to help you with the lockdowns. These people are not going to help President Trump get reelected, even though he got it stolen from. They're all waiting for him to disappear so they could rise to power, so they could just be another phony in politics. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Exposedlockdowns.com. We're not playing stupid. Oh, what's next? Oh, what's next? Maybe if you retweet me 20,000 times, I'll pretend like I'm shocked. Oh. Yeah, we know what's going on, bro. They're killing businesses. Every day that you act stupid, another business dies. Every day that you act stupid, we lose everything. We lose more constitutional rights, and you idiots and cowards are doing nothing, even though you have bigger networks than me. So exposedlockdowns.com, we're not only fighting it digitally, now we're fighting it physically, because you could print these out and pass these out to your small businesses. And if you're not doing that, go check out some of my other friends like Ali or others who are actually trying to stop the steal, using their networks to do what, it seems like the GOP doesn't care about. And all these big Trump supporters that claim that they like him so much have been pretty much absent these last 3 weeks while, they're trying to steal the election from him. So if you're not doing that, go try to stop the steal. But if not, exposedlockdowns.com. I'm going to say it again. I'm getting upset, but we can't act shocked every time. If we're always acting shocked, oh, what's going on? Oh, I can't fathom the thing that you do. It's like, oh, man, he's so cool. He says one line. It's like, we know what's going on. They're killing the country. They're killing the businesses. They're killing our communities. They're killing our Constitution, and they've been doing it all year. And you cowards and you frauds and you con artists did nothing. You sold 20 million Socialist Sucks t-shirts 3 years ago, and then communism comes to the country and you're absent. If socialism sucks so bad, where are you when it comes to our country in a worse form? Nowhere to be found, with no solutions, just acting perpetually shocked all the time, and then not even talking about the lockdowns. I mean, you got idiots in the GOP who are talking about the vaccine more than they're talking about the logs. Ooh, Trump got Operation Warp Speed. Congratulations, that's great. He rushed a bunch of Moderna and Pfizer vaccines through safety trials. That's great. Do you know how you test those vaccines for long-term effects? Do you know how you do it? You can't, because they've been so quickly rushed through safety trials, and long-term effects take 5-10 years to figure out. So good luck. But in general, it's like they've done nothing to stop these lockdowns. Okay. And I've watched them get worse and worse. I've done some of the only, sadly, besides Elon Musk on Joe Rogan, I can't even find 5 conservatives who actually did any at all this whole year. April, I'm doing coronavirus reporting. May, I'm doing coronavirus reporting. It's getting 10 million views, 5 million views, because I'm the only one doing it, showing you how they're counting cases, how they're counting deaths, going viral all the time. Where are all these Republicans that are so great? Nowhere to be found. They were nowhere in April, nowhere in March, nowhere in May, June, July. Now it's November. They're going into a second wave of lockdown. They're trying to now wipe out any small business in California or in these liberal states or in these liberal cities. and these people are nowhere to be found. So someone said, where's Trump? I don't know, but I don't care. I'm not going to trust the plan. I'm not waiting for Sidney Powell's Kraken. What I'm doing, folks, is exposelockdowns.com. You are the plan. I am the plan. We are the plan, and no one's coming to save us. TPUSA is not going to save us. Trump's not going to save us. Crenshaw will start another war for Israel before he'll ever even think about saving us. He'll sell out the first 2 amendments easily and then call you an anti-Semite if you notice that he's doing it. These people are not going to save us. Jim Jordan's going to act perpetually shocked on television every day while he's taking lobbyist money from Google. While he had 2 years to do something, we had a super majority before the midterms. We had the Senate, the House, and the Congress, and they did absolutely nothing to save us. They did nothing for us. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do it ourselves. That's why I have these. Yes, I make videos. Yes, it gets a lot of reach, but now I'm going to go personally after I close this live stream off. Pass these out to small businesses in my community by the hundreds, by the thousands. I'll probably be posting up, this whole next week trying to explain to these businesses, this is not nice. All of this ends when we end it. It's like a psychological warfare. I'm walking down the street and some lady walks out onto the highway, literally walks onto a highway. And I'm thinking, is she crossing the highway? And then she walks back on the street. And then I realize, oh, this lady's so brainwashed by coronavirus that she's willing to get hit by a car on a highway more than she even wants to walk within 10 feet of me. I'm like, she walked onto a highway just to not walk past me. I'm like, we need to clearly get through to these people, not just on the digital end, but on the physical end. And, I'm just not going to watch my neighborhood go to shit. I'm not going to watch thousands of restaurants that I've been supporting and giving $30, $40, $50 tips because I know how much they're hurting. Now they can't open indoors. Now they're going to lose millions more dollars. And now these big tech companies are going to swallow it up. And that's the plan. That's why exposelockdown.com. Give these to your favorite restaurant. Give this packet to your favorite small business. Get people to realize once enough people in a community don't listen, they can't do anything about it because most of this stuff is unconstitutional anyway, and the Supreme Court is nowhere to be found. Gavin Newsom got blocked like twice with this executive order. He's in court right now. Every time he tries to do it, he does it, and then they deem it unconstitutional, and then he does it anyway, and then they deem it unconstitutional, and then he does it anyway, and people just listen to it. I don't even know if he has the authority to even do this. It's like a brainwashing thing. They just say it, and everybody just follows it. It's like if you open your business and don't die, it's not a bad thing. And if millions of people do it, that's the only way we're going to get over this. Waiting for Trump is a failed plan. Waiting for all of these conservative thought leaders who marched around college campuses telling you how much socialism sucks is a failed plan. Because I told you last year and everybody thought I was mean or jealous. I'm not jealous. I love people. I love giving people platforms or praise. I don't like to talk bad about anybody, but these phony cowards who told you that they were fighting for free speech did nothing to fight tech censorship. And all they did was make fake documentaries telling you they were fighting tech censorship, as all their friends were passing and lobbying for anti-Semitism bills, which are anti-First Amendment bills. And once you lose the First Amendment for the people you don't like, you lose it for everyone you do like. So they sold it out last year when it was crunch time. And now this year, they're nowhere to be found by design. So we're not waiting for anyone. That's all I'm saying. Exposelockdowns.com. Please go to it and understand Trump's going to fight for his election. There's millions of patriots fighting to help Trump get reelected, like Ali. I think Fuentes is out there. Alex Jones. Say what you want about whoever, but they're out there trying to stop the steal that the GOP is not. And we have to end the lockdowns. Trump is not going to end the lockdowns. He's proven inefficient on the lockdowns. He's proven that he either can't do anything or doesn't want to do anything about them. In the liberal cities and the liberal states, he's been, said a few things on Twitter, but it hasn't really done anything. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying he can't save us. So we can't wait for the Kraken. Sidney Powell's not going to save you. Durham and Barr is not going to save you. Expose lockdowns, print out a packet, share it with a small business. And we need to get millions upon tens of millions of people, businesses, and shops to realize like this is not good because people comply. One, because they're scared of what the government will do. But a lot of people are complying because they think it's the healthy thing to do. They think it's like, oh, I'm going to get saved if I shut the business down. That's actually really helpful. Like it's killing people. It's killing businesses. It's killing the economy. And it could lead to hundreds of millions of people starving. And if you look at the people who are orchestrating it, I'm just saying the same people who are orchestrating these shutdowns are the same people who own the companies who are telling you hundreds of millions of people might starve, are the same people who are funding UN $1 billion, United Nations, are the same people who says that the world is overpopulated, folks. This is not like a fringe conspiracy theory. Like, listen to Ted Turner. Ted Turner thinks that there needs to be less people on the planet. He's talked about it multiple times in interviews on the street. There's too many people on the planet. We need less people. So how would they get rid of people if there's too many people and the population keeps growing? I don't know, folks. He gave $1 billion to the UN. The UN is the World Health Organization. The World Health Organization sits down with the World Economic Forum and Johns Hopkins and Bill and Melinda Gates, and they have these little meetings that they make public and say, what if a pandemic hit? We'll do this. And then they do that. And guess what they're doing now, folks? If you want to know, the same people who orchestrated Event 201, which then turned into 2000 and COVID-19, are now orchestrating this little cybersecurity meeting, the same way they did Event 201. If you know what that is, look it up. They're doing now a cybersecurity meeting where they're saying there could be a big hack. There could be something that wipes out the digital, landscape. So if you've ever had that feeling that that could be the next thing, I would say the chances of that, if this were a betting market, just went up 10,000%, because it seems like anytime these people gather and these people meet in public and say these things, it seems like they happen just a few years later. So if you want to know what the big next crisis is probably going to be, you could just listen to the same people who predicted this crisis. And that is the big cyber crisis of them, a big cyber attack that shuts down the power grid. This is not my opinion. This is not my conspiracy theory. This is the World Economic Forum founder, Klaus Schwab, meeting with a bunch of Equifax and all these people. And they had the equivalent to Event 201 for a power shutdown. So think about that. Be prepared for that. Keep your eyes on that. I'm not trying to scare people. Don't be scared. Be prepared. I'm just saying they seem to have a pretty good track record when they predict the next global thing that somehow perfectly wipes everyone out and makes it available for their great reset. That's what they're planning now, folks, is the digital reset. So it's even making me think about physical cash, property, because if I have a bunch of money sitting in the bank, it's not going to matter when these experts, become right again. So I'm not worried about it, but one thing that they can't control is us on the ground. And that's what it is, folks. I'm going to read a few comments before I leave. ExposeLockdowns.com and send this message to people. And in general, I'm not trying to be mean, folks, but you know how nice I am. I'm the type, I just want to sit on a beach somewhere. I want to do my videos, sit on a beach, go body surfing. I'm an easygoing guy. 2 years ago, you're not going to see me talk bad about anybody. Then I watched them sell out the First Amendment. Then I watched all your conservative idols turn their back on the Constitution while telling you they were fighting for the Constitution. Then I started talking my shit because I'm like, listen, I don't care how much I like you. If you're not really pro First Amendment, it doesn't matter because you're going to lead our whole country astray. And that's what they did. And then this year, I watched them lock the country down. So I'm a little ticked off. I'm not angry or upset in that way, but I don't like to talk about people. But it's like at this point, we have like, a time frame of like 1 to 5 years to get this stuff out of the way. And the biggest thought leaders are doing absolutely nothing, just running people in circles and acting shocked. There's nothing to act shocked about. If they're really this stupid, which I know they're not, guys, these stupid little conservative organizations, they hire hundreds of people, thousands of people. You think they don't know who I am? You think they don't know who my videos are? I have 600 million views. Everybody they sign is a big fan. They know just watch my communism video. Oh, I'm so shocked. What's going on? Watch my video on the communist takeover of America. It's 20. You think they don't know this stuff, guys? They employ 100 people to just sit there and monitor stuff and research stuff. They're acting stupid for retweets, folks. They just like retweets. They just like attention and power and money or something. It's like, we know what's going on. They have to stop acting stupid and stop empowering these people to act stupid. Don't retweet something where it's like, what's going on with the lockdowns? I mean, it's like, they're trying to kill you. This is not random. This is obvious. So the point I'm getting to is, which I've done the last 2 times, is we'll never get the solution until we admit that the problem's happening. If we're always just acting shocked, we never solve the problem. We can't even get to the point to solve the problem. We can't even get to that point on like the scale A, B, C. Like we're still in the what's going on. So, no, it's happening. Now, what are we going to do about it? I don't know, but I made exposelockdowns.com so you could print out packets and give them to small businesses. And that's what I'm going to do on a local and global scale now. Is that everything? No, of course not. But what I'm saying is I'm one person. We're over that. Get these other idiots and losers, no offense, off of this scale of like every day. It's like Like, do I have to read Jim Jordan's tweet today? I'm just going to read it. Listen, I like Jim Jordan like the next person. He seems like a great guy, but it's like, the Jim Jordan thing. Pennsylvania is making people wear masks inside their homes. Ohio is making people be home by 10 p.m. Vermont won't even let you have your friends over. What's next? He said. Jim Jordan, I don't know. What's next, bro? Maybe the gulags? I don't know. Maybe just complete slavery? Maybe millions of businesses losing everything? I don't know. It's like, dude, stop acting surprised. Do something about it. Or at least, at bare minimum, if you can't do something about it, just stop acting shocked. Identify what's going on, and then we could have a solution. If you can't even identify, and you're like, what's next? Oh, I don't know, dude. What? It's like, just stop the bullshit, bro. And then Charlie Kirk's like, if lockdowns worked, why would we need lockdowns again? If lockdowns didn't work, why didn't we lock down again? 7,000. I don't know, Charlie Kirk. Give me one more emoji so I retweet you. It's like, bro, they don't work. They know they don't work. How come he's never actually, do something about it, dude? You got the biggest conservative organization in America. Like, mobilize people. Do something about it. Why is Ali doing it? Why is Nick Fuentes doing it? Where are you? He's organizing TPUSA, like Israel rallies. I'm not even joking. It's like virtual rallies for Israel. It's like, bro, the leader of Israel just turned his back on the leader of America like we all knew he would for years. And you were calling everybody anti-Semites for suggesting that that would happen. And now you're more concerned about a foreign country than you are about your own country when it's in a lockdown. And the only thing you have is a two-liner to get a retweet. Like you don't know that they're not effective. I'm so tired of these phonies. And where were they last year? Don't ask me questions. It's racist. It's like, how are you fighting against political correctness when you are politically correct and you're blacklisting people? There's right wingers that can't even get into his events because they got blacklisted because they're smarter than him and they actually know he's selling out the First Amendment. So he's just a gatekeeper. He's not doing anything. I'm so tired of these people. I'm sorry. It's way past time to do something. I watched them happen in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Now it's 7 months to slow the spread because I know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. Anybody who watches my videos knows what they're doing. Anybody that has a brain at this point knows, at least has an idea of what they're doing. So why would we follow a bunch of leaders who are trying to pretend like they don't know what's going on? It's such a joke. You're welcome, folks. All right, I'm gonna read a few questions and then I'm out. Exposelockdowns.com. We're not acting shocked. We're not acting surprised. We're not acting confused. We know what's going on. I've documented exactly what's going on. I have mainstream articles, 11 pages to show you exactly what's going on. I've made a website for it. I've made it printable. I'm going to physically hand it to businesses and show people, not by creeping them out with mainstream sources and obvious facts, that lockdowns kill businesses, kill jobs, kill the country, and they're not going to stop. And I'm going to update exposelockdowns.com to show the other side of it. I didn't want to get too crazy in the packet and scare people, but it's like, if you look at who's doing the lockdown, they want a great reset. And then I'm seeing all these conservatives. Meanwhile, I'm not trying to say I'm like super ahead, but I've been talking about the great reset for like a month now. And I have videos on it weeks ago. And they're like acting like they don't know what's going on. They're like, I thought this was just a conspiracy. Like, ooh, like it's like, can they do anything? They're like the GOP. It's like, bro, we had a majority, Congress, House, Senate, and the presidency from 2016 to 2018. If the Democrats have the presidency, the House, and the Congress, do you think they're going to do nothing like the GOP did? Of course not. They're going to pass so much crap through, it's not even going to be funny. So this is the new trust the plan, folks. It's not, let's wait for Jim Jordan to do something. He's taking Google lobbying money. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's like, I don't care. If they pay me, they pay me. It's like, no, I agree. But it's like, do something. I don't know. Maybe use that Google money to, I don't know, start a website so people can sue Google or something. I mean, I don't know. Why do I think Maxim said, why do you think your COVID parody videos got censored the most? That's a good question. That one got censored 3 times. I think because it was effective. I don't know. I think it was funny. And I included the article from Fauci. It's a Newsweek article. If you Google it, I'll just Google it now. I mean, I'll probably get censored for saying this, but Newsweek, they really don't want people to see this video. Let me see. Coronavirus Wuhan. They really don't want people to see this this news article, and I put it in the parody video. I think this is partially why. It says Dr. Fauci backed controversial Wuhan lab with United States dollars for risky coronavirus research. So I put that in the video, so they censored it because they don't want people to go Google. This is not a right-wing news organization. This is Newsweek, guys. This is a far left-wing organization that is admitting and did a great article. It's one of the best articles of the year that Fauci was funding a controversial Wuhan lab, which was manipulating bat coronaviruses. So these, no offense, but these Charlie Kirks and these Trumps and these Jim Jordans, if you let people get away with anything, they're never going to stop. But a lot of these Washington types, they don't care. As long as they're the top guy, as long as they're getting the money, as long as they could hobnob with both politicians, they don't really care. But if you're an American citizen and you want freedom and you want to not live like a slave and run your business and, you know, be able to travel and not be shut down every couple months, you should look into that type of stuff because that's the root of the problem. Whether it's, I'm not going to go back to September 11th, but a lot of the crises in America, it's like they did it. So let's go to Afghanistan and let's just be there for 20 years in the poppy seeds and let's fight, let's try to kill Bashar al-Assad and then let's go to Libya. Like, what does that have to do with 9/11? That has nothing to do with 9/11. This is not a conspiracy theory. They said that it was Al-Qaeda and then they attacked like 5 different countries that had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda. So clearly their goal had nothing to do with Al-Qaeda. It's the same with this. If you can't even get to the root of what happened this year, it's never going to stop. Guys, I'm not trying to fearmonger, but we're screwed if these people don't do anything. And spoiler alert, they're not doing anything. So it's time to take things into our own hands or prepare for the inevitable. Get a property and be self-sufficient because these people are not coming to save you. And any moron that's like, wait for the Kraken in the plan, even if Trump pulls this off, he has no plan for the lockdowns. Even if he had a plan, he doesn't have enough power at this moment to take on Google, Facebook, Twitter, United Airlines. I mean, every company in the country is against him. So even if it's going down either way, folks, there is no super happy ending where it all just like disappears in front of your face. You don't have to do anything. We have to take things into our own hands. That's why I expose lockdowns.com because they don't have a plan. And everybody just makes up theories. They're like, what if Jim Jordan was Batman? And it's like, I mean, maybe, but at the end of the day, we know what they're doing. And the point I'm getting to is with the whole year, we just had the entire world sabotaged by a virus that they won't even allow you to question where it came from when the top health experts in the United States were funding controversial labs in Wuhan, manipulating back coronaviruses, and you're not even allowed to talk about it. Is this going to end if you can't talk about it? Of course not. They're just going to keep getting worse and worse, and that's what happened. Corruption went untouched, and now they shut the whole world down. And no one stopped them. So now they feel more emboldened. And the one thing that worries them, folks, I'll tell you what it is. Of course, Trump worries them. But the one thing that worries them is the populist movement, is the nationalist movement, is the movement of people on the left wing or the right wing who love their country and don't love, the globalist communist scheme, the people who actually stand up for themselves and have a brain of their own. Now Obama's saying that the internet is a big threat. The internet's a big threat. Why do you think Obama thinks the internet's a big threat? Let me think. Well, since television's completely owned by Obama's friends, the television's not a threat. Since the radio waves are almost completely controlled, that's not a threat. Most social media companies are owned by his friends, so that's not a threat. The internet is a threat because that's the only place that people like you and me and other people that you watch have a voice of their own and are allowed to exercise their First Amendment on a massive scale outside of the other mega corporations or on them and finesse around it. So they're trying to eliminate anybody who speaks out. That's why they think the internet's a threat. So these are the games that they're going to play. So as we have it, we're taking it. They're scared of us, folks. They're scared of millions of people understanding that this is BS and stopping it. It's more a brainwashing scheme than it is a physical scheme. I couldn't believe people were listening in April, May, June. I don't run a business, but if I ran a business, I would have been like Ian Smith. I would have been like Shelley Luther, but 99.999% of people just listen. And when everyone listens, it works. You get what I'm saying? That's why exposelockdowns.com. Show people the information. Once you have the information, you can implement it. And if enough people implement it, it's over. It's over. It doesn't have to start. It doesn't have to last another day. It doesn't have to last another week. And it doesn't have to last another year. Folks, you could go to South Dakota and none of this is even happening. You could probably go to Mexico and none of this is even happening. This is not a global thing. They're trying to make it one, but there's places where you could sit down indoors with a waitress and no one cares. And no one's just dying all over the place. There are no crazy numbers that are worse. They're not even worse than New York and New Jersey in deaths per capita, not even close. So there is no data that says that. So this is like you live in Los Angeles and then you go to South Dakota. It's like a different world. It's because they don't listen. They don't play along. And it's totally fine. So that's what it is. Exposedlockdowns.com. I'll answer a few questions. Then I got to go. I'm gonna pass these out today, probably pass them out tomorrow. I don't know. I might start a local protest. I don't know. I'm not dealing with these lockdowns for another week. I'm not dealing with them for another month. I'm curious as to where all these big leaders are in the GOP, the ones that aren't helping Trump right now. Those ones I understand where they're at, but I don't get it. Let's see. Someone said you're on fire tonight. I mean, I'm not going to let my country just get destroyed, folks. It's past the point of raising the alarm, and it's not a fear alarm. It's an action alarm. Okay. It's far past the point. It's November now, folks. And most businesses and small businesses do not have even the money to close down for 2 weeks. And I'm watching all these sad businesses. It's like, guys, we don't have to do this. If everybody in this complex doesn't listen, it's over. They're not going to enforce it. It's already happening in certain parts of California. People don't listen. And guess what Gavin Newsom does? Nothing. He can't do anything. He's not even listening to his own rules. He just brainwashes everybody and laughs hysterically and takes meetings with big lobbyists and big business who have a plan for the Great Reset. He doesn't care about you. Someone said never surrender. Yeah, right. Never. Someone said Rand Paul and Thomas Massie are on it. Yeah, no, they're definitely calling it out. But do you think we need a third party? Not necessarily. Republicans just need to stand up. Don't let these Dan Crenshaw and Charlie Kirk types just take over the party. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but they're just waiting for Trump to leave, and then they're going to try to like lull you to sleep. The GOP is yours. It's Trump's. It's yours. We don't need a third party. Just don't fall for their traps. Don't wait for them to do something. Do what they're doing now, which is like, look what Trump and Ali and all these people are doing to Kemp. It's like, bro, you'll never win again. If you don't stop the steal in Georgia, you're out of the GOP. This is our party. So I don't think we need a third party. The GOP is ours. The GOP is of the people. The GOP doesn't win if people don't vote for him. Trump won twice because people voted for him. Kemp won because people voted for him. They're not going to vote for Kemp anymore. He's going to get primaried because if you allow your little friends with lobbyist money from Dominion to steal the election, you're out. So no, it's not their party. It's our party. So they can leave, not us. Let me see. Turning in late. God bless you, sir. Snap me out of my trust the plan trance. LOL. I mean, research all the information you want. I'm not telling you what to believe and what not to believe, but waiting for Trump to do it is not going to happen. The point I'm trying to get to with the lockdowns is Trump was president all year. He did nothing about it. Durham did nothing. Barr did nothing. It's up to the people. If trust the plan means you do something about it, that's fine. If it means you sit and laugh about Durham doing things in the shadows that never happened, then no. Exposedlockdowns.com, 10-page packet, print it out, pass it around, share it around. And it's just the beginning. I'm going to get more stuff on the website, but I wanted to keep it simple. Someone said, we're going to protest here in California. I'm going. I mean, I wanted to go live and let people know what's going on, but I'm going. It's getting a little late. I'll probably do a little bit today, but tomorrow I'm printing as many of these as I can, and I'm going directly to restaurants. It's saying, listen, people are going to die if you close your business. Your business is going to die. People aren't going to get paid. People are getting depressed. Like, change the narrative. The narrative right now is, I feel selfish. I feel selfish for wanting a job. I feel selfish for wanting to breathe air. I feel selfish for wanting to go back to normal. I'm trying to let people know we'll change the zeitgeist. You're not selfish. Actually, it's selfish the other way. People are dying. People are getting depressed. People are getting suicidal. Millions of people are dying actually from other diseases now that COVID is changing the zeitgeist so much that now medical people are running in circles. They're not doing cancer screenings. They're not doing tuberculosis checkups. And a lot of that was unjustified. If you look at all of the cancer screenings that were missed in the United States, how many hospitals were overwhelmed? I would say maybe a few in New York City, and they shut down hospitals across the country, thousands of them, thousands of people out of work, thousands of people, tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people miss cancer screenings. Over what? Over this bullshit that they did. It wasn't the virus, it was the response to the virus. And now they're going to try to fearmonger people and say, "Oh my God, hospitals are backed up." Well, here, let's use our brains now, folks. Say you run a dentist's office, a very successful dentist's office, okay? And say your dentist office is forced by the government to close for 4 months. Now you reopen your dentist office in July. What happens to your dentist office, folks? If it was already a busy dentist office, what happens is you're overbooked for the next year or 2 years because you just shut down for 4 months and no business on the planet can shut down. So now if they try to fearmonger, people would say, well, hospitals have a lot of patients now. Yeah, no shit, because you shut down for 4 months. Any hospital that shuts down for 4 months, when you reopen, now all the people come for their cancer screening. Now all the people come for their elective surgeries, and you're going to be overwhelmed. Not from the coronavirus, from these piece of shit devils who purposely shut this shit down because they want a great reset and they want their tech friends and their business lobbyists to swallow it up so you own nothing. And a lot of these same people think that there needs to be less people on the planet, not more, less. And the one tech billionaire, the one science billionaire who doesn't agree with them is Elon Musk. Elon Musk doesn't think there needs to be less people on the planet. He actually uses his brain and understands that population collapse is the big problem. He's actually said it on stage at a Bloomberg event with the founder of Alibaba. He said, we're facing population collapse. There's going to be too few people. So why do you think Elon Musk is against the coronavirus shutdowns? He constantly tells the truth about it because he understands they're wiping out the population, folks. I'm just going to say it. It's obvious. They planned it. They said it. They're doing it. And the only tech billionaire that's standing up to them is Elon Musk. Why? Because he understands there is no population overgrowth problem, folks. That's in their own heads. There's a population collapse problem. If you study birth rates and what's going to happen in 50, 60 years, even Jack Ma from Alibaba agrees with him. So there is no settled science. Some people think we have too many people. Some people think we have too few. They can debate about it. But the people who think we have too many people are purposely implementing their agenda. And it's not the same agenda as Elon Musk. It's not the same agenda that we voted for or you voted for when you voted for President Trump. And they're just taking over anyway. And all these loser GOP people and loser conservatives who just shill you to death with these one-liners about socialism and Thomas Sowell, they're doing nothing this year, folks. Nothing. Nothing for you, nothing for the country, nothing for the First Amendment. They're mobilizing nothing. They're saying nothing. They're just sucking up donor money and giving it to people who want to collapse the country just as much as the liberals. All right. Someone said you can fit the entire world in Texas. Yeah, we don't have a population problem. It's all in their sick little heads. These are the sick same people who say, oh, we're going to make a utopian society. Yes, Silicon Valley's nice when you live in a $10 million property. San Francisco sucks. San Francisco was a clean, nice, fun city 10 years ago. It sucks now. You couldn't pay me enough money to live there. You could pay me $10,000 a month to move to San Francisco. I'd pass it down. I'd say I'd rather be broke in a nicer area. These are the same people that are like, there's too many people. They have these stupid ideas. And then instead of testing them against smart people who are in the science field, they blacklist, silence, swallow up, and control everything. So you're not even allowed to challenge them. So it doesn't make them right. The science is not settled. The science is settled on them destroying anybody who disagrees with them. I mean, these same people who said the election was rigged in 2016 are the same ones saying it's not even possible to rig an election. They think you're stupid, and I guess people are, but that's why we're doing exposelockdowns.com, folks. Print them out, share them, give them to small business owners. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take, but I'm going to do what I can. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate you. All right, let's read a few more, and then I got to run. Can you go to the nursing homes as well as local small businesses, please? Yeah, island photographer. Yeah, I'll try to go to nursing homes. I'll say this too, because you brought up a good point. This is what really ticks me off. Obviously, the left-wing approach to coronavirus is just idiotic, but a lot of these right-wing people, even like the Ron DeSantis types and the Trump types, the ones who are against the lockdown, they seem to think it's an okay idea to be like, okay, well, we'll let everybody else do their thing, but let's lock up the elderly people. Let's do a social experiment, folks. This is just common sense that they think both sides think they could just treat the elderly like prisoners. But take a society of 1,000 elderly people. They all have a social life. They all get exercise. They all are allowed to talk to each other. They don't have to wear a mask. You're not filling them with fear, which destroys your immune system and causes cardiovascular problems. Fear is really bad for your body. It's settled science, pretty obvious. But you have one that you're not scaring to crap, and you let them talk and stuff. And then you have one like everybody's doing now in left-wing and right-wing cities, where you're treating the elderly like prisoners and slaves, and you're not allowing them to talk to each other, and you're scaring the crap out of them. It's a coronavirus, so you're going to die coronavirus, putting a mask on them, carting them around, and barely letting them go outside. Who do you think is going to live longer, folks? The ones who get exercise and talk to each other and have a society and have dinner. My grandma and my great aunt, where they used to stay, they used to have dinners and parties and jazz nights. Now they have nothing, and they're going to kill elderly people. You're not saving elderly people. You think elderly people don't know about diseases? If you get pneumonia when you're 85 years old, you have a high chance of dying, unfortunately, rather than if you're younger. So this is not unique to coronavirus. This is not like, oh, if they get COVID, they have a 90-something chance of dying. It's like, that's actually better than probably other viruses that they get, because once you hit a certain age, certain diseases like really take a toll on you. You're probably not going to die from pneumonia if you're 25 or 30, but if you're 90, the chances increase quite high. So this is not exclusive to coronavirus, but they think this gives them the right to treat elderly people like prisoners, and they're going to kill more elderly people than they ever save, because just this psychological effect and physical effect of not being able to exercise and a social effect of not being able to talk is deadly. And this is like studied stuff in Italy, where they live long. It's because of their social life. That's a huge factor to it. They're going to kill everything. That's why I'm not playing around anymore. I could care less about these losers who just pretend like they do something and they don't ever do anything for you. I used to like to go on cruises. Cruise lines are forever ruined, folks. Unless we can get through this psychologically, they're never coming back. I call where there's going to be masks, there's going to be this, then I don't want to go. It's over. It's never going to be the same again. It's never going to be fun again. It's over forever. They've destroyed theme parks. They've destroyed cruises. They've destroyed social lives. They've destroyed coffee shops. Anything fun, seeing people's face and smile, they've ruined it, folks, forever, until people wake the F up. It's never coming back, ever. And they're bragging about that. Klaus Schwab, that demon, he's like, it's never coming back. It's never coming back. You are crazy if you think it's coming back. F you, devil. Go to hell. These people are like bragging about how things are never going to go back. When I used to go on cruises, every time I went on, somebody almost died, because the average age is 85 and there's 2,000 of them on. So it's like being in a nursing home with 2,000 people, except you're on a cruise boat. Yeah, I went on a cruise, helicopter came in to rescue someone. I went on a cruise, they had to speed home because somebody had some problems. This is not abnormal on a cruise boat when most people are over the age of 70. Now, if that happens, someone got COVID on a cruise boat, they're going to sue. This is going to happen. They're going to shut down. It's over, folks. We're never going back to normal. And I want to wake people up, because I'm tired of the complacent people who just say, let me just wait for tomorrow. No, you're going to get led to the slaughter, folks. You're never getting theme parks back. You're never getting cruises back. You're never getting normal airline flights back. You're never getting your job back. You're never getting your business back. You're never getting any of this stuff back, ever. That's the plan. They're bragging about it. Wake the F up, or be a slave for the rest of your life. Have you heard of World War II? Have you read about Stalin? Have you read about Hitler? Have you read about slavery? Do you remember that from the history books? Well, it's